I can walk confidently in the world knowing that I have a purpose and I have a right to be here. Hi everyone, it's Kim and thank you for tuning into my channel. I know it's been a while since I last posted a video, but now I am finally doing it. I'm on a walk and I've just been relaxing and meditating, and I wanted to do a video talking about the 5 top things that I learned on this journey to aligning with my higher self. Now, I am by no means at all saying that I'm perfect or that I know everything. I only just want to give you some of the things that I learned and some of the things that I hope that you can use for your benefit. So in order to come into twin flame union, you have to be aligned with your higher self and your higher purpose. Not to say that that's what needs to happen and it has to be exactly this way in order for this to happen. What I'm trying to say is that you have to be prepared in yourself and really find the core values that you may have perhaps lacked in the past when you were, say, wandering or lost. So it's important that you really begin to believe in yourself before you actually come into real union. And I want to give you some tips, or at least some key things that I learned and that helped me realize the fact that perhaps I wasn't ready for union, and perhaps that I needed to do something in order to get ready, and that's where I'm on right now. And I've honestly learned so much, and I wish to share that with you and hopefully get you to understand some things that you may not have realized yet, or perhaps I can give you a piece of information that will help you on your path, and that's what I really want to do. These are 5 tips that I found to be super helpful in my self-growth. Communication is really truly key. If you have a frustration with your partner or with anybody, really take the time to talk to them and try to approach them in a very mature way. So if you do this and you still realize that they don't really respect you, then it's time to go. Even if you think that they are your twin flame and you care about them so much, you absolutely have to respect yourself to take that break and to make sure that they understand that you will not stay around or stick around with their bullshit. Absolutely gain and have that power to walk away from somebody who is not ready to be with you and who is not ready to evolve to a higher level. And I can say this from experience because I have gone through situations and relationships where I did not even talk about the things that were frustrating me, and that just ended up building up and causing even more chaos. And then I've also been in situations where I decided to reach out to somebody and they would just not hear me out. So that's when I found out that, you know what, it's time to walk away. There's also situations where I didn't listen to what my intuition was telling me. Like, I clearly felt that this person was not healthy for me or didn't really respect me in that moment, which is not to say that they won't ever and that they won't ever change, but in that moment I had to realize to back off and really know when the right time is to walk away. And I have that for number 1 because I think it's absolutely vital that we are able to hear our partners and the people that we supposedly love with understanding and compassionate ears. And I think that's so important when somebody can hear us out and not judge us for the things that we're feeling, even if they don't agree. And that's why I think it's so key that if you are with somebody, even if you think that they're your twin flame, if they're not listening to you, if they're not hearing you out, and you feel somewhat unheard, and definitely disrespected, and that's how you know it's not time for that connection. It's time for you to let them go and grow on their own. And this definitely goes for like your family, for your friends, any type of relationship where you feel unheard. That's how you know that it's probably time to take some space from them, because they are no longer right for you on this path. You absolutely have to feel comfortable around the people that you're with, even if you're blood related. And I know how difficult that is to get space from the people that you're related to, but sometimes it's the next thing that we have to do. And by doing this, you may just as well attract them back to your life, but in a much better, more balanced, and healthier way. If you take a stand in this way, you gain that much more self-respect and confidence in yourself to make the right decisions for your own life and journey. Number 2, be careful who you tell your deepest desires, goals, and fears to, because not everybody is really truly the friend that they claim to be. I have told a couple of some friends that I had in the past about things that I were really interested in, people that I were really into, and people that I really cared about. And I instantly realized that they were not as happy for me as I thought that they would be, because their tone of voice changes, they start to avoid me, or like they start to like talk about something else. And I'm telling you, even your own family might not be as happy as you think that they would usually be. So you have to be really careful, because I find that whenever I tell people things in my excitement, because of how their reaction afterwards, I start to sort of pull away from those things. I don't know why, that's just me. Maybe that's not you, maybe that's not how you deal with things, but I notice that's what happens with me. Right after I tell somebody that probably I shouldn't have told about something that I'm really interested in, that thing kind of falls away almost. So definitely be mindful of who you tell and who you talk about your deepest interests and desires and beliefs to. Number 3, make the conscious effort to do things outside of your comfort zone. Like right now, I'm on a trail and there are people passing by, and I get really tense sometimes because they can see me taking videos and I feel like I look silly, but this is something that you have to be able to do. Not being afraid to do things that you actually love and enjoy to do in front of people who may or may not judge you. So definitely do the things that you love to do, regardless of what your family or your longtime friends would ever think about you. Like an example for me, I decided I want to post a lot of what I'm thinking or my opinions on things on my Instagram, as opposed to the things that I used to post, which are like makeup or outfits. I decided to finally use my voice and to really talk about the things that I'm passionate about, and I always kind of was scared that I would be judged by it. In doing that, I swear to you, my confidence skyrocketed. I started to attract more people that were more like me and thought like me and wanted to live the type of life that I wanted to live. I started to attract more people that were passionate about the things that I'm passionate about, who were making active changes in the things that I'm concerned about. This increased confidence will really help you find your true value in yourself and really be able to listen and hear your real truth. And understanding your real truth is vital to aligning with your higher self, because in doing so, you become so confident and grounded in your path. It's almost like knowing who you are, or at least knowing a huge part of who you are, acts as a protective barrier around you. And that is so important and helpful. Number 4, take time to be with nature. Nature will help you find peace in ways that you perhaps may not even understand right now if you haven't been taking advantage of it. I recommend taking a walk in nature at least once a week. Definitely more if you can, but some people can't. But definitely taking a walk. Doesn't have to be with nature, but just if you don't have that luxury of having a place that you can go to surrounded by the beautiful natural world, then definitely just take some time to walk, because walking without your gadgets will help you reflect on the things that are important to you at that moment and help you decide how you can go about the next step. Number 5, reading. I know some people will say, I don't like to read, I don't have the patience to read, but if you could just spare 10 to 20 minutes even then, you will surely find some clarity of mind, and I guarantee you will also be more motivated than you have ever been if you take the time to read at least 20 minutes every day of a book that you are inspired by, or a book on a topic that you are interested in. Now, if you can't do it once every day, then do it at least 3 times a week. I know you have at least 20 minutes to spare in 3 of the days of your 7-day week. There are literally books on everything from cars, from fashion, from dieting, from nutrition, from self-improvement, from business, from money management, anything that you can think of, anything that you're interested in. I guarantee you, you will find a book. If you do this, you will increase your confidence, because knowledge is power. And if you can't do it 7 days a week, which I sometimes can't, you can do at least 3 days a week, and that should be sufficient enough. I guarantee that you have 20 minutes to spare 3 days out of your 7-day week. There are literally books on everything you can think of. Anything that you're interested in, I guarantee you, you will find a book. And if you don't want to shell out the money to buy a book because you're unsure how it'll work for you, then go to the library. It's free to get a library card. Check it out and then go there and have some fun and see what kind of other titles that you may be interested in. There's so many vital knowledge in books. It's like a person's life work and observations condensed into, I don't know, 250 pages or more or less depending. But there's so many good information out there, and honestly, reading books and reading about the things that I love increased my confidence, definitely. And I think it could do the same for you. And honestly, I feel like reading about topics that I really were interested in and truly sparked me increased my confidence so much, because I gained something new that I didn't have before, and that is knowledge. Not to mention increased interest and inspiration. So if you haven't read a book in a while, maybe now is the time. This is your reminder to maybe get back on that. So that is it. That is my 5 tips that I find really helped me on my path, and I hope that it could help you too. These 5 tips can also help you, as well as it helped me align with my higher self, and it continues to do so. And it's very important before that actual union happens that we divine feminines and divine masculines prepare ourselves for a union that will transform the world and really start to create these new paradigms that are so needed. And that's why there's so much more twin flames who have reincarnated in the same lifetime, which has never been seen before. If you're here with me, I truly believe and know that you have a higher purpose on this planet. Anyways, I do hope that you enjoy these 5 tips that I found absolutely invaluable to my journey. And as always, if you liked this video and you found it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your stories and your thoughts on it. If you would like to suggest videos that you think I should do, definitely let me know and I will do that. Bye. There's actually a tip that I forgot to mention, and let's consider it like a bonus tip. It definitely has to be taking the time to have a stretch practice, or at least a stretching routine every morning and even before you sleep. If you're not somebody who likes to work out vigorously, like I'm not that type of person, but I really find stretching very therapeutic and has helped with my anxiety tremendously. So that's another thing that you could be doing. With that said, it's very important to warm up the body before you do any real long stretches. So what I like to do is start off with some free form yoga, or just basically do those very quick stretches where I'm just moving my body in the way that it wants to. And then that's when I'll start to get into those really deep stretches, and for me it's almost like a meditation. So definitely the purpose of this video is helping ease some of those just normal or almost inevitable anxieties of life. And these techniques, I feel like, help calm the mind and help the individual sort of listen to that inner voice that is definitely of value when it comes to this journey. I feel like a lot of people might not be able to hear it because of the chatter. And so these practices will definitely help you if you make it very habitual and part of your life routine. So the purpose of this video is, like I said, to help the individual align with the higher self and to help the soul find its truth, thus bringing in union. But it's more than union. It's about the individual's confidence and purpose in life too. So I feel like these are very key things because, for instance, in the first one with communication, you are honoring your soul there. You're honoring your truth, and that will definitely increase your vibration. It doesn't matter if another person finds it to be annoying or if they don't agree, that's not the point. The point is that you're speaking what you're feeling, and that will release that sort of blockage in your heart. It'll release that weight, and it's vital that you release that weight in order for you to vibrate in a higher frequency. And if you're saying something that you're afraid to say, you're afraid to be judged by, then likely that's that weight holding you down in various ways and in various aspects of your life. And if you speak it, it literally like leaves your body, because then you don't have to hold that fear anymore. And I feel like that's why I put that in number one. It has changed my life tremendously to speak my mind in ways that I feel right at that moment, even if it looks to be a mistake to other people. It definitely has helped me find my own power. So that is it. That is my 5 tips. And I will put a clip of book recommendations that I think you may like, or books that you can benefit from. Hopefully you find these recommendations of interest to you, and I will leave a link to those books below. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video.
So as promised, I have here a few books that I would like to recommend, or some few books that really stood out to me as being very vital to who I am today. So the first one is Wheels of Life by Anna Dea Judith, and it's basically a basic introduction to chakras, and it's very comprehensive, but it has a little bit of everything. So it has some history there, how it relates to the body, also how it relates to life experiences and history or ancient practices. All of this is in this book. So if you're interested in chakras, energy, spirituality, this is a book that I'd recommend. I discovered it in the library, and then I just had to get a copy for myself. I feel like this could definitely interest a lot of people who are a part of this community. The second one is by the same author, Anna Dea Judith, Eastern Body, Western Mind, Psychology and the Chakra System as a Path to the Self. And this is also about the chakra system, but it delves deeper into it in a way of talking about, the psychological effects of each stage as it develops. So if you're interested in this, definitely look into these 2 books. The third book that I'd like to recommend is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And this is just good to help you, realign with your purpose, I guess. It gives you some insight on some spiritual truths that I feel like anybody could get something from. And it doesn't even matter what background you're from or what religion you were born into. There is definitely universal truths here that anybody and everybody can benefit from. So yeah, see, I wrote all over it. It was a healing book for me. Highly recommend this one. And this is a very special book to me. This is my favorite written work ever thus far. It's Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it's not actually a book. It's an essay. And yeah, it's basically what the title says. It teaches you the importance of self-reliance. And I feel like I gained a lot of confidence and understanding and just groundedness and willingness to be in the world through this book, and through this essay. And I love him as a writer. He's, I believe, an American philosopher. So I recommend this if you are interested in philosophy, or you're interested in self-reliance, you like Ralph Waldo Emerson, and you want to gain more confidence. All of these things, you can benefit from these books. So yeah, that is my recommendations. If you're interested in these books, you can find the links in the description box below.
I love you guys. I love you, my soul family.